Hi everyone, my name's Evie and welcome to my channel. It's my first ever video, so pretty much I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Basic technical skills, got myself a mic, and I'm using the camera on my MacBook Air to record this. Probably don't know if I'll use the footage because I'm not sure what the sound is like on the MacBook Air versus the microphone that I'm using against my PC. For some reason the mic is not compatible with the MacBook, so whatever. Anyway, enough of that. I'm pretty much starting a new channel called CrossSlashGame. Some of you might know where that name comes from, especially the new Final Fantasy 7 players. I'm pretty much winging this video because I thought that for you guys to get to know me in any sort of capacity, it's best to just be a bit unprepared, I guess, just to come across as natural as possible. You can probably see I'm a bit unsure about this. The way I'm coming across, probably not as confident as maybe I should be, but I just thought, let me start and see what happens. Okay, so about myself and my motivations behind coming up with this channel. I pretty much love video games. Okay, it's just engraved in me for some reason. From the very first time I played a video game on a PlayStation, a lie, on the Atari. Sorry, I'm not that old, but I did I did have an Atari 2600. It's kind of like my brother's, but I played on it, so it is the first time I've ever played a video game. But ultimately, I have always been infatuated by the medium in itself. For me, is just one of the best ways to transmit, to express your ideas. One of the hardest to convert your ideas to, but if you get it right, if you can express yourself, convert your idea into a video game and express yourself that way, it becomes immortalized. It's just like anything else, like music and movies, I guess. But ultimately, with video games, I find that there is an extra layer. Okay, there's an extra layer to that experience, and for the longest time, from a young 7-year-old, 8-year-old, and born in the 80s, I feel like that it changed me. Okay, it was something that I kind of knew at the time it was always going to be a part of my life. A lot of my friends have grown out of it. There's not nothing wrong with that. Life takes over and they prefer that. They think that let's put this aside, or they're tired of hearing their wives and parents saying that's for children, stop playing. You idiots. But it's never really got to me. I love video games. I love them, and they're definitely not for children. There are video games for children, but I think that video games have become more, if anything, for the masses. It's for everyone of all ages, and I think that's what's really appealing. It's a lot of common points with any other medium like movies and music and all that, but video games just do it for me. I actually hate that we refer to them as video games. I wish they had movies. It sounds cool. Music, brilliant. Video games, like even the fact it is a game, we do play effectively with them, but it isn't something that it's not as cool. So I prefer them. I prefer to probably call them experiences. Okay, and they're becoming more in depth now. They're literally sucking you in now with VR and everything. It's definitely an experience. It changes you. It's something that you go and talk to your mates about. Do you remember, playing that game, or experiencing that game? Or do you remember that bit and this bit? And I'm sure that only people who play video games have those conversations. But ultimately, I feel that video games, in the broadest of terms, is, apart from being my all-time favourite way to experience anything, I feel that ultimately it's just become a way of life for me. And I'm not even saying like I have 2 kids. Okay, I've just been blessed with 2 little girls, and I cannot wait for them to grow up so I can play with them, so I can show them as they grow older, the types of games, the things the stories, how brilliantly crafted these things are. And I thought that for me, being the fact that we're all in lockdown at the moment and the world is never going to be the same again, in my opinion, that expressing yourself about the things you like, like creating a YouTube channel, which is what I'm doing, is just a way to move forward and to expand in the whole world that I live in, which is playing video games. I don't expect any of this to. Don't expect to become a YouTube sensation, because it's just not going to happen. But I do expect to find like-minded people, okay, and to have amazing conversations, and to share opinions and thoughts and stuff, and to hopefully one day be someone that people will want to listen to, or will want to go on YouTube. Let's see what he has to say this week. It'd be cool. Okay, that's my first step. Okay, and I'm not, I don't have very little expectations around what's going to happen by putting this video on here, but we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? The other side to this all is, apart from obviously loving video games, and that's what my channel is going to be all about. I want to talk about the latest news, the latest games, the announcements, and I'll probably be 10 days behind everyone else, whatever. But it's just a case of having a place to express yourself, to talk about the things you love, with judgment or without. I know, there's a lot of people out there that love to go, you arsehole, you're an idiot, what are you doing? Go back home. Just don't go. Stay off the internet. I get it, and I don't care. It doesn't affect me as much, I hope. But I think that I wanted to, the first step was to get a YouTube channel out, get a couple of videos out there, talk about the things I love, the games I love, the industry, the artists out there. These people. Ultimately, what we're doing is, and what we're seeing is, hundreds of people, these teams and these companies, getting together and putting all their time, all that time. They won't get that time back. They're putting their time, their expertise, their artistic flair in one place. They're all working to get this one thing made, just so you can enjoy it. And I know there's a lot of money involved, because that's the way the world rolls. It's just, nothing happens without money. But to see them do that is ultimately mind-blowing. I play games, as crap as they might be sometimes, just because of the work that's gone into it, and I want to see the work that went into it. I hope that people will start enjoying the medium, not only because of how good a game is. A game can be amazing, and a game can be as little as Pong to at the time when it all kicked off, to as big as Final Fantasy VII Remake, as an example, or The Last of Us Part 2 coming out, and Spider-Man, Insomniac's Spider-Man, that's God of War. I'm just naming games. As you can probably tell, I own a PlayStation, and I play most of my games on PlayStation. I'm not what you call a fanboy. I do have an Xbox, a PlayStation, a Nintendo's Wii U, and a Switch. But majority of the games I like are on the PlayStation. Okay. So yeah, PlayStation is my home. It's my go-to console. I think that ultimately the reason for it is, between the gap between Nintendo and Mega Drive, my parents they would never get me a console. They wouldn't go out of their way to spend that money. There wasn't enough to go around at the time, and one day I'll tell you exactly where I was brought up and such. But money was spent on food and stuff, not on video games. So for the longest time, didn't have any connection to the video game world. I guess between the ages of 8 till about 14, I didn't play any video games. A friend would have had a PC, and every now and again we'd go there and play some side-scrolling shooter or something like that. But there was nothing. I grew up in the 80s and 90s until one day I went to my really older cousin's house, and he had a PlayStation, and that's when, picking that up, I played, the first ever game was Tekken 2, and after that, and I remember this clearly, popping in Final Fantasy 7 and realising that I could play it. What the hell's going on? What was this crap? Get out. Tekken, pack up. Yeah, it's easy. Kick the shit out of him. That was it. But I felt that at the time it hooked me. Okay, I was like, this is amazing. This is what I enjoy. This is what I like doing. I didn't really care much for the music side of things. I guess I didn't have many influences. I love music now, obviously, but at the time it was a little bit different. It's just a step-by-step process. And with music and such, it was just, I didn't know where I belonged, I guess. Movies, again, loved a movie, loved an action. I grew up with the Schwarzeneggers, Stallones and Van Dammes, so it was all very action-packed, dude. Mel Gibson's and stuff, just blood and violence, and that's what my brother used to put me through, so I grew up with that, and that's just nostalgic reasons. Now cinema and music have a completely separate, and one day maybe I'll make a channel about music and cinema, who knows. But at this moment in time, and I think for the last 15 to 25 years of my life, video games have taken centre stage. PlayStation, I guess, being the place to go to for me, and I really have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every year, and I realise I'm really getting older. So through all the adults telling me stop, put that down, it's crap, you're wasting your time, that's for children, and games are not for children. There are games for children, but the games that I play are not specifically to children. I look for something. I'm looking for something there. And with that in mind, I thought, with everything going, happening right now in the world, like I said, it's never going to be the same again. I thought that, I need to do something. I don't want to, first of all, I don't want anything to happen, and never have done it. So I thought, let me start my YouTube channel, and the other thing I'm doing is creating my own video game, because why wouldn't you? Nothing stops you in this world to do the things you love. Especially now with everything happening, my outlook on life has completely changed, and I'm not going to obviously bore you with that, but I thought that in life there's so much more. It has so much to give, and I don't want to be the guy that dies tomorrow for the lack of, just something dramatic there, and didn't do what he wanted to do. Okay, wasn't happy. Could have been happier, because he just didn't do what he wanted to do, which is be a part of that world, that industry, that video game industry, have my name immortalized in some way, shape, or form by the guy, by being the guy that created that, and 10 people played it. I don't care. Not one person, even if one person plays whatever I create and goes, that wasn't half bad, I'd be crying. I'd be like, oh my days, this is brilliant, best day of my life. So you'll hear a little bit about that as we go along, and as my videos get released. This is obviously a longer video than I'd want it to be, because I'm just simply winging it. Okay, but I hope that I've said enough that you guys will want to come back to my channel. I promise I will get better. Right now this is noob territory for me. I have no clue what I'm doing. Bare basics. Okay, I've got my YouTube channel set. I've got my mic, look at it. I'm also recording on my MacBook Air. It's decent enough camera, I guess. But I don't know how I'm gonna edit this together yet. You'll probably notice there's a few jumpy bits there. This, for some reason, when it reaches about 500 meg of recording on my MacBook, it just starts jittering and starts freezing when I'm recording, so I just stopped it. Hopefully you didn't even notice that. But yeah, like I was saying, I will get better. I hope you guys do come back, subscribe to my channel, you know, and do come back and listen to the things I have to say, and maybe we can have a chat, who knows, you know, just for another format. Just, I'm sure I'll find hopefully loads of people with stuff in common with me, so please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, cheers.